discussion.
Finding out what people feel are problems in our community. And I wonder if you might express some ideas on something that you think would be a problem we should be concerned with.
Well, we've got some houses down here that could really be tore down, fixed up.
The reason a lot of children don't want to go to school is because they don't have the right clothes to wear, and the parents don't have the money to buy the clothes with. Like shoes, they don't last very long, and they get tore up, and they don't want to go to school like that. That's a big problem there, too. And a lot of parents don't know what to do with the children when they get old enough to quit. They don't want them to quit, but the children just drop out. And I don't know what could be the reason of that. I certainly, when mine get bigger, I want them to keep on going to school. And right now, I've got a little girl that doesn't want to go to school, but of course she's sick a lot. And that's a big problem because she gets behind in her work.
What did the children do before we actually had preschool activities here?
Well, they had to stay around the house until the older children coming from school, because by them being real young, I was afraid to let them go out and play on the sake they might have wandered off and got hurt someplace, and so I just kept them in until the other children coming from school so that they have someone to play with them.
What in particular do they like best about play school? Have you heard them say?
Well, they like trying to make different things, which they are learning out here to make.
Do you think that Linda and Brenda will be helped by coming to preschool?
Yes, I'm quite sure they will, because right now they know the ABCs, and each one of them can count from 1 to 100, and I believe it's going to help them out a lot when they enter real school.
How many children do you have?
Well, I have 14 children in all, and so, I mean, you know, this kind of keep me kind of busy around the house all day, doing the ironing and cooking and cleaning for them.
For instance, when I went looking for a job, and me and some more of my buddies, and we went to this plant, and see, all of us were still in school, and so we went to apply for the job, and so we applied for it, and the man said he'd take our applications and told us to come back about next week.
They say, you need a high school education, you need this, you need that. No, it's not necessarily that.
Because now, Jack, you have to have a high school diploma to even to get a dishwashing job, Jack.
Yes, I knew I couldn't get a worthwhile job. I was just bored. I didn't just seem like nothing was happening, but I realized when I'd quit that I was wrong.
Well, first of all, I don't have a skill. And there's no one thing that I can do very well, because I got a job at a service station. I worked there for a while. I got a job as a salesman. I worked there for a while. I got a job as a cook. I worked there for a while. So, you know, there's no set thing. And I can't even say this is what I'm going to do, because I go out and try and do to make ends meet. And whenever I think things are going okay, if I want to go to school and try and do something, the bottom falls out.
The Neighborhood Youth Corps gives some a second chance. An answer to the question, what do you do? And what do you know? And where did you last work? The Job Corps has one basic aim: to change the direction of the lives of 1 million Americans. For many, this year or two in a Job Corps training center is their first experience away from home. A highly practical course in cafeteria management. and experimental determination. Soccer can be played indoors. This is the first Job Corps camp. It also trains instructors for the others. The first test is simplest, but it's also the most difficult. Many have never had the opportunity to study in a quiet room. It can be a rather tiresome experience. A projector is a useful tool for learning, especially about projectors. The camp gets some of its filing and typing done and teaches office skills, all in the same difficult motion. And it gets its road graded the same way. We can offer help. Those who help themselves will profit from it, and the nation will profit from them. That is all we can do, and we are doing it. This farm is failing. The loss of the proceeds of this corn patch will not, however, disturb the national economy. Some would say this farmer has more pride than sense. For years, his labor has produced barely enough to feed his family. Now, it doesn't quite do even that. A $2,500 loan would pay off the mortgage arrears and buy a tractor. But a man can't borrow for a tractor while he owes on his mortgage. For the rural loan program, the loan was a gamble. $2,500 risked on one hand, a family forced off the farm and under relief on the other. You've got to balance it out. Under this new program, loans are also made to cooperatives and to tradesmen in the small towns around farms. Credit for poor people and for small businesses is hard to find. Under the new loan program of the Small Business Administration, long-term, low-interest loans are made to prospective and existing businesses that have a reasonable chance to succeed. These businessmen have the energy, the initiative, and the sense of responsibility needed to succeed. And, as the saying goes, they try harder. To make the bargain possible, they put up the brains, the nerve, and the desire. And they found most of the money. But some can't quite make it. A job falls through, illness in the family. The work-study program doesn't give them the money. It just finds them jobs. Jobs that pay $18 a week and let them stay in college. And in some cases, summer jobs, which are sometimes short enlistments in the war against poverty. Can we afford $18 a week to keep these kids in college? Can we afford to pass them up? Volunteers in service to America. VISTA. These are the special forces in the war on poverty. The pay, low enough to qualify for aid as a poverty victim if earned in any other occupation. This young man gains quick rapport with his pupils. Their handicap is poverty. His, a pair of artificial legs. Vista volunteers will not be ambassadors to the poor. For the term of their enlistments, they will be residents in poverty and advocates of its victims.
What is that?
Cheers.
Now then. This?
A block.
All right. Then now.
The psychologist
Okay.
is 81 years old. If she looks to the future, can the child do otherwise?
A flag.
Yeah. Well, that's very good. Who's that? Automobile, his little dog. And there's the shoe. All right. Now, shut your eyes tight so that you can't see them. Now, see that? Open your eyes. Which one did I hide?
The dog.
A child responds to individual attention,
Never.
especially if he got to the age of 4 without ever experiencing it.
Now, what's this?
Cat.
And what's that?
Moon.
And this?
A choo-choo train.
Choo-choo train. Well, that's all right. All right. That's all of that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye-bye now. Well, what I'd like to do is take a water sample off your pump. You want to come around and look for a minute? What we're doing is a couple of things, but I found a problem out here when I was here the other day. What I'm looking for is signs of diarrhea, germs, from the privy over there. Because if it has been used, you'll still get that stuff through the ground. Would you hold that for me? Ragged weather. I was talking to Mr. Elliott up the road, and he said that it looks like it's going to freeze up.
Remember yesterday we talked about wheels have that shape? What shape is that? No, what shape? How does this go? Does it go up? Does it go around? Round like a circle. A circle is round too, that's right. Let's see, where are we going to go now?
We're going inside.
Why are we going inside?
Because I'm cold.
This Vista volunteer is teaching adults to read. In this school, when you take out your registration card, you automatically establish your entering grade.
Address is Dover. Can you write Route 1 Dover in your box number? RT is route. D-O-V-E-R. Let's see, D is like this. D-O-V-E-R. That's printed. That's fine.
How do you let people who can't read know that they have a chance to learn?
Never did I dream.
You can't write them a letter about it.
And the sitting in the chair, and you thought you were too old to go to the reading class. And when I told you I was twice as old as you were?
Yes, ma'am. Well, there's quite a few there around here.
Well, I was awfully disappointed the class didn't start right away. But
there's a little difficulty, but it will start eventually. And if you know anybody else, and Ed, if you know anybody else, we especially like to get the men interested. We like the women, but I like the men that have jobs and that want to improve themselves and want to get better jobs.
What we are looking at, the ones who have experienced the knowledge of life, gaining not from reading, but from working. Now we'll classify them. And we have what we call on-the-job reading.
Gentlemen, this morning we're going to have a lesson in addition of fractions. And I'd like to have somebody in the class, Wayne, would you give me the least common denominator? 6. 6? Okay, now you add these up. 2 goes into 6 3 times, 3 ones is 3. 3 into 6 goes twice, 2 twos are 4. And what is the answer down here, Wayne?
7 6.
1 and 1 6. You're right.
Teach a man of 50 how to add fractions, and you change a tax taker into a taxpayer, a job for a college student, a loan for a farmer. In this way, the chain of poverty can be broken, one link at a time. In this way can 40 million trapped inhabitants of the city of the poor escape, one at a time. There is no other way. He knows that round means like a hoop, or like the circle he made with his friends. Next year, he will learn that O is round, and he will understand, and that the world is round, and he will understand that too. But he has learned more. He sleeps surrounded by friends who were, this morning, strangers. The face of poverty is the face of despair. This is the face of hope.